Miss Eleanor here, and I'm going to teach you how to make this adorable Pom Pom Snowman. So you can see he's got a small pom-pom and a big pom-pom, some pipe cleaners for arms, googly eyes, a felt nose, and even a nice felt scarf. So a few of the materials you'll need to start this Pom Pom Snowman. You're going to need white yarn, a clover yellow medium pom-pom maker, a small pom-pom maker, googly eyes, a few swatches of felt, glue, and of course, scissors. So the first thing we want to do, let's set all of this aside, except for our pom-pom makers and our yarn. So you're going to make one yellow and one pink pom-pom. If you need a refresher on how to do that, you can watch our video, linked right over here. And we're actually going to keep these tails, so don't do anything with the tails. Let's close up our large pom-pom maker, put it off to the side, do the same thing with the small pom-pom. We kept these tails nice and long because we're going to thread them through our yarn needle. The yarn needle has an extra large eye so that it can fit the large yarn fibers through it. But right now, these are two different sizes. So first, let's trim them down so they're a little more equal. But even still, with those two strands, trying to go get them both through the eye of the needle might be a little hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both strands, fold them over the eye, pinch it nice and tight, and then slide it off the needle. Now I have a nice together clump to put through the eye of my needle. So I'm going to push that through, pull it all the way through, and now I just want to grip the end of the eye of my needle to make sure that it's not going to come all the way through. And I'm going to poke my yarn needle through the pom-pom head, the small pom-pom. And you really want to make sure it goes right through the center so it's hitting that belt. And now after I pull it through, I'm just going to grip the edge to make sure it doesn't go through the eye of the needle. If it did slip out of the eye of your needle, no big deal, just thread it right back on. And now I'm going to go back down through the pom-pom. But see, I want to make sure that I'm not going through the same exact hole that my thread came through this time. I'm going to go a little bit to the side. So you can see my thread is coming out here and my needle is going in over here. So I'm going to push that all the way through to the bottom of the pom-pom. Pull it nice and tight. Now let's actually give this a little bit more breathing room. So I'm going to pull these apart just a little bit. And with this tail, I just want to tie it in a knot, so I make a loop around my finger, slide it off my finger, slip the tails through the loop, pull it nice and tight. Now that you have a knot, that's really not going to go anywhere, so we can trim it up and it'll get lost in the bottom of the pom-pom. Now that we have our small and our medium pom-pom connected, to turn this relay into a snowman, the things that we need will be some felt, 2 pipe cleaners, one of which you can cut in half, a red strip of felt for the scarf, and googly eyes. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this snowman's arms on. So first I'm going to take that long pipe cleaner, the full length, kind of find the center. You can fold it a little bit to find where the center is going to be. Now that center is going to wrap around the middle of these two pom-poms, right in between the two pom-pom layers. And then I'm going to wrap one arm around and back to the side that it started on. So now I have my two arms. And to bring those arms to life, let's give him some hands. So these two that you cut in half, you're going to do a very similar thing. So I'm going to wrap it around one end of the pipe cleaner all the way back around to the side where it started. And if you wanted, you could even trim these up a little bit to give them a bit more character. Let's do the same thing with the other side. We're going to find the center of that pom-pom, wrap all the way back around to the other side where it started. And now we'll trim it up to keep it even with the other side, just a little bit. Kind of shape it to make them look more like hands. And now to make his scarf, we're going to take our strip of red felt or whatever color you want it. And first I'm going to fringe the edges. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 cuts to make it look like a nice fringed scarf. Let me show you that again on the other side. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 cuts to make a fringed edge. And now I'm just going to take that scarf, wrap it around the back of his head to the front, kind of notch it in to really make a delineation between his head and his body. So let's make sure it's nice and centered. And now you could either stitch these together, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this back, put a little strip of glue right there, lay the scarf back on top, and just hold it for a few seconds to make sure it really sticks. Now for his face, we need 2 eyes and a nose. So dump out a few of those googly eyes until you find what you like, and I really like these medium eyes for the snowman. So I'm going to do one at a time. Lift up that medium eye, put on a dollop of glue, and then place that, separate a few of the fibers of the pom-pom and place that right in there. We'll do the same thing with the other side, and don't worry if you get a little bit of glue around the side of the googly eye. It's going to dry clear, so it'll be a-okay in the end. So let's take our other googly eye, put on a dollop of glue, and do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to hold those there for a few seconds to make sure they really stick. And there we go. We have our nice little googly-eyed snowman. Now he needs a nose. So instead of finding the world's smallest carrot, I'm going to take a little bit of felt. And we just need a triangle. So I'm going to snip one of these corners. And then I just want to hold the tip, kind of even it out a little bit. So now I have a nice triangle for his carrot nose. And to put in this carrot nose, I'm only going to put glue on the straight edge. Just a little dollop of glue along one side of the straight edge. Now, for his face, I'm just going to separate a few fibers. So I'm going to pull a few fibers down to the bottom of his face. And then I'm going to put this glue side down on top of those fibers. And you just want to press, make sure it really sticks. It's really only sticking to a few strands of yarn. So you just want to make sure that it sticks to those two that it's touching. And there we have it. There's our Pom Pom Snowman.